stop feeling guilty for living a good life. Sometimes we manifest different ailments and we create our own struggles and points of tension in our life. And I say ailments like we can even make ourselves ill or manifest certain conditions and situations like the ones on my skin right now, because we're literally stressing ourselves out as a choice because we feel guilty that we live such a blessed life. Now let that marinate for a little bit and forgive me as I say it, because I know some of those tensions and stresses and ailments do come from a very real place, but a lot of the time we just feel guilty that we are one of the lucky ones, or we feel blessed and we secretly feel unworthy of living a life that is so stress-free. And there has to be a balance, and there has to be like a way we pay for it. So we pay for it through our mental struggle and through our emotional struggle and lack of acceptance for our reality. When we bombard ourselves and we're bombarded with images of struggle and distress and suffering in the same reality that we live in, like in the same realm, on the same earth, or when we feel it, like, you know, for the likes of us who can just feel it, we're gonna feel this sense of guilt or unworthiness, like, why me? Like, why am I so blessed? I've often said, like, what did I do in a past life? You know, I feel very karmically blessed because I don't come necessarily from a background that set me up to be destined to have, well, I mean, I guess I did because I do, but do you know what I mean? From a material 3D kind of perspective, I wasn't expected to have such blessings, but I do feel in some other realm, in some other energy level, I am extremely blessed. And especially as more and more like the images of suffering in this world become more potent and louder, and yeah, this is just something that's, sometimes I wake up with these things in my consciousness, and instead of writing it down, I thought I'd just record myself crusty first thing in the day. It's okay to not let yourself suffer just because everything is good, you know. You can let things just be good and just be peaceful. And sometimes the struggle is self-made. Like, you are DIYing your struggle. Like, I mean, this whole life is DIY. I literally said this the other day. Like, we are literally DIYing our whole life. But some of us really DIY our own pain and struggle when it's not given to us, you know, because we feel guilty. And I'm saying now it's time to let it go, you know. Yeah, you're worthy, you know. And if you don't feel worthy, like, create your worthiness. Create your worthiness instead of creating your suffering. Create your worthiness. Spread the love. Share the light. share something with someone, reach out to someone, ask someone who looks like they're in need if they need some help. Create your worthiness. If you feel like you are not worth the blessings that you have in your life, the peace, the safety, the security, you know, the roof over your head, the bed under your back, the food on your plate, you know, if you are so grateful to the point where you feel like, why am I so fucking blessed, and you're just in so much gratitude, you know, it's good to question it. It's good to see it and acknowledge it, and acknowledge that this life is balanced, but you know, not it's not equally balanced for everyone, but as a whole everything is balanced, if that makes sense. And but what was I saying? We have to be able to create the worthiness, you know. If you're so grateful and you don't understand where it comes from, give yourself a reason to feel worthy. What do you do with those blessings, you know? And that's what makes the difference between, you know, I often get frustrated when I'm feeling very overwhelmed and I'm feeling everything that's going on in the world, and I feel like it's my duty to do something about why this world is so full of suffering and pain. And you know, I get really deep into the bullshit of the world, for lack of a better term, and I don't enjoy it when people question, but it's not your problem though. Like, just forget about it. Like, you can only focus on what is in your control and on your reality, you know. Just spread light in your reality, like do good things to the people around you and forget the rest kind of attitude. And it frustrates me because there's nuance when it comes to that. Like, obviously I agree with that. Obviously I agree that it starts with you and your immediate reality, and thinking and getting lost in things that is out of your control is not useful and can really deteriorate your emotional, spiritual, mental, physical health. But you can tell the difference, well, at least I can tell the difference between that being someone's starting point, whereas that being someone's destination. Like someone who has done none of the feeling and none of the work and none of the acknowledgement or acceptance, or who refuses to even look and feel, and they just stay in their rightful blessedness, but it's like they just stay in their privilege and their blessedness without really realizing what their life is at the cost of, or what is on the other side of their life, you know. And I think that's an important step before you get to the now I will do what is in my control, you know. Instead of starting with just think about yourself, just think about your reality, just don't think about it, just concentrate on you. Like, don't let it bother you, don't let it bother you. Like, kind of don't be angry, just love and light. Just, if you're love and light, then none of the pain matters that is outside of you. And I wholeheartedly disagree, because I believe everything outside of me is within me, and if I believe we are all one, then anything that happens to you happens to me. And I feel that I live with that energetic reality. If not in my physical, it's definitely energetic. So number one, it's important for the likes of us to protect ourselves and to really go on that journey of energetic protection, especially now as the noise and the distraction and the images of suffering become louder. But we must be able to acknowledge it at least and feel it first. Protect, but also accept and feel and acknowledge and look at the reality instead of denying it and saying, oh, it's not my control, so I can't do anything. Because really, the people who start with that mindset and start with that concept are the people who like believe that they're powerless and believe that, you know, in some way that, you know, and they're just living in a kind of fantasy land that doesn't that I guess it is necessary that some people do live in, and it's that naivety and it's that ignorance. And I have lived there. I have been in that ignorance, and I have played that role of being like, I can't do anything about it. So, but it's still and it's still it feels in vain. I don't know if I'm using that in the right context, but it feels like soulless. It feels when you're just enjoying the fruits of life without acknowledging the shadows of life, and usually it goes hand in hand with your acceptance of your own, then you're just living like it's just fake. It's just not real. It's just not real. And sometimes, usually it's a coping mechanism, yeah. Like people use it as a way to cope with the fact that they can't really comprehend why the world is the way it is and why they have such a good life. So they just say, well, I can't do really anything about it. But that kind of, you're kind of relinquishing your power in a way. You know, you're not truly grasping the fact that you do have power, and everything you do has power, and you can be doing and living the exact same way, but it can come from a point of ignorance and rejection of reality, or it can come from active intentional liberation and rebellion. Like, yeah, my joy and my sense of worthiness and my lack of guilt is even through the acknowledgement and the acceptance and the feeling and the sensing and the knowing that this world is so fucked up, and I'm still gonna give myself the permission to enjoy it anyway, and I'm still gonna give my permission, and that will be a part of my fight. That will be a part of my fight, a part of my rebellion and revolution. It will be to enjoy the things that my ancestors couldn't. It will be to enjoy the things that some people still can't. And in turn, I will also share that and help other people as much as I can and as much as I feel pulled to, you know. Because the more you do it with the intention of, from that place of knowing and feeling, the easier it is to share with others, the easier it is to connect with people who genuinely need the help and, you know, genuinely could do with your love and your light and your generosity. You know, if you're just living in comfort and, you know, comfort and security and wealth and abundance just by yourself and from a place of ignorance and not true gratitude or acceptance and from a wider, seeing the wider, bigger picture, and you're just keeping yourself in your small picture, then you're restricting how much you can actually bridge the gap between you and people who are not living like you, because you're not sharing because you're not even really truly accepting the blessings that you have. And sharing is how it's like the cycle. Sharing is how you reinstill your sense of worthiness. Like, I get it. I get why I was given this voice, this comfort, this phone, this means. I get why I'm given the means to keep myself alive and healthy and fed and warm and safe. I get why I was blessed with this, because I can share it with others. Simple as that. Because it gives me the tools to deepen my understanding of what it means to be human and to connect with others. And that does not mean you will not just enjoy the fruits of your labor and enjoy the fruits of your life and your blessings and your lessons by yourself. Look, I'm in this nice comfy bed by myself, but you will create more space for it to be shared and for it to be like a source of genuine connection and genuine divine connection, whether that is just with you and source or with you and other players, other beings in this game of life. So yeah, I just let myself speak freely there, because it came to me very strongly as I woke up. It's time to let go of feeling guilty of living a good life. And I say good, bad, blah, blah, blah. What does it mean? But you know what I mean. A life that comes with less risk and less physical suffering. And if you feel unworthy, it's up to you. It's up to us to create our worthiness by seeing, acknowledging, accepting how blessed we are, being grateful, and sharing the gifts that we have, sharing the light through the shadows, not disregarding the shadows, not ignoring it, not saying, oh no, don't think about that, just focus on yourself, just do your own thing, don't worry, you can't control it. You can. Not in the way, obviously, let's use our critical thinking and be real. Like, maybe one day I will be able to snap my fingers and end all suffering. Maybe that's something that I will try. But I can at least choose and do that for myself and give myself permission to stop suffering, so I can share that sense with whoever I come into contact with. Like, it's okay. Like, it's actually okay. So yeah, we have more power than we think. Stop creating your own suffering and share the blessings and share the joy and share the light. God bless. Take care. Have a good day, night, whatever it may be. Time for me to carpe diem, seize the day. Or maybe I will sleep for a little bit longer. Who knows? We shall see.